Now I've taken out the fan shroud and the fan, and you do that by just removing 4 10mm head bolts, and then take off this top radiator hose, easy enough, and then make sure you have a catch pan underneath to get the radiator fluid. I did unscrew this one AC line here so I can move it out of the way a little bit and unplug this guy, and then you have to use one hand to pull the fan up and the other hand to pull the housing up together so that your fan doesn't scrape on your radiator and ruin it. So when that fan fell off, it looks like it did cause some fin squishage, so this thing's probably still okay, but that could be a concern later. Maybe I'll replace it, we'll see. But now I have much more access to this fan housing in here, and I'll be starting to remove piece by piece. For instance, this cover, this guy here, this hose that comes down, and then these connectors. Another guy said you do need to remove that cover and this one over here, along with moving the air intake out of the way a little bit. So I'm gonna go piece by piece, trying not to remove, trying only to remove the necessary pieces. So get back to you when I have that all off. All right, the moment of truth. One of them, man, what a bear getting this stuff off. But in the end, it was up to me trying to get the AC compressor loose a little bit so I could get this part of the big bracket loose. Now, before we go into what's down there, I'm taking a look at the timing belt. Pretty cracked. He said it was 50k miles ago. Man, that thing really must not have been a quality belt, or maybe that wasn't 50k. But either way, it doesn't matter. So this thing is going to come off. Left some of the bolts in there. Excuse me while I do that. Yeah. So let's take a look at this guy. He is quite shredded. Let's see if I can see anything recognizable, like the actual bearing. It's just not there. It's just grinded up to a mess. I'm gonna leave those bolts in so I don't forget where they go. Now it's time to take a look down in here, and I already see something interesting. Oh, hello, little ball bearing, sitting in a little crevice. So that guy's bouncing around, definitely. Ding, 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 ding. And then I got some random pieces of plastic, metal. So let's get all this out of here. Metal filings. There's my nice little ball. So what else? Where else can we look? I can get the scope, but just look down here. I was wondering if, you know, maybe a ball might have got stuck in there and chipped any of the teeth. But it looks okay just on this narrow view for now. Let's see here. So I have another cover here. For any of y'all wondering if the bump start loosen of the crankshaft bolt actually works, it does. So did a 22mm socket there, long extension to here, and just bump that starter and then make sure to turn it off, and this baby is loose like a goose. So it was gonna keep spinning and come all the way unbolted, but got that off there. See? Awesome. Getting further down in now. There's a little annoying timing plate thing. I did see a ball bearing down there. Let's see if I can focus this. Just a crap load of crustiness. I think from Could be a water pump leak, or coming from up here on this guy. Not sure. A key. That's fine. Guess that's a sensor. We're getting to be lined up with the timing marks, it looks like. Just by luck. Almost lined up. And that's another thing I'll need to check to make sure all my timing marks are lined up. Because if you said it's running rough, that could be due to the belt skipping. You know, it's really tight, but maybe when the bearings fell in, maybe it skipped a tooth or something. Alright, well, that's good progress for the day. Got some other stuff I need to do, and clean this up, start it up, and see what happens. Now here's a shot when I lined up the timing belt with the marks on it. Both cams line up. And I spun it around enough times to get this as close as I could, and you see it's 2 teeth off. Alright, I need to part off this engine, so I'm going to go through taking apart the upper section. And this will be the same process you'd use if you're going to change your water pump or timing belt, but I'm only going for this fan bracket here. But I will go through the other steps to get everything else off down here. So without further ado, let's hit it. My fan clutch is already taken off, so I can take off the pulley here. I'll need to get this off, take these guys out. So this is hooked up to your intake manifold. And I'll clip here. And I'm going to do the clip down here is already taken off, so I just need to loosen the screw. That's a 10 millimeter. A bolt or a nut. Put my stuff over there. Okay, so now this can come loose. There we go. What's next? This cover here, I've already unplugged the crank sensor or whatever that is. This has some bolts. 2. There's one here that makes 3, and the one there that makes 4. Those are already removed. This will come off, but it's still stuck on here because of this rubber grommet here. So I push that out from the back and release the sensor connector, and then I put this back in for now so I don't lose it. Okay, so here's the timing belt. You can look at the condition of it. It's not cracked or anything on the outside, which is good. Nice and tight. What's next? Moving over here, we get into 12s. I'm gonna first, there's 1 bolt, 2, 3, and 1 on the front, a little nut, 4. Pull that off, expose the other gear. Now going to the middle, I'll need a 12. First, get this pulley off, but before that, I'll just loosen these bolts that hold this cover. 1, 2. 14. See if this can't handle it. Here we go. That did fine for that pulley. Now, 2 bolts for the cover. That pulls off. 1, 2, 14. Not sure why I pulled that off. Still use it here. 3, and now you'd think you could pull it off, but no, it's still connected on through this bolt here and the bolt that goes through here on this AC compressor. Do this for the sake of time. There we go, not too tight. Now all this is a bit harder when you have there another one that's a pain in the butt to get to, and this one is a 14 as well. So let's do that. There you go. It's a pain. Try not to get in your way, but no, I'm in the way though. There we go. Now I can pull this off. Awesome. And the reason I needed this is because on my other engine that I'm fixing up a nice Tundra, this bearing here totally exploded and went out. So I can use this part. This engine has a lot less miles. Clean it up a little bit, but should be looking good and work great for me. So that was quick. Now if you're gonna do your timing belt, there's a few more things to get off here. Getting the nuts out of the socket can be difficult. So I always keep one of these. I can poke in and pop nuts out of there if they get stuck. Definitely need a deep socket for that. 14. Actually, pull this first. This is the tensioner. Get this guy off. There's a bump start trick if you don't have an impact gun, but I do, so. Pretty simple. Now, this pulley can be a pain, so I'm going to go push pause and go get my puller so I can stick in here and pull against this and get it off. It is not moving. Got the pulley, gear puller I mean, and shove it in here. This is already maxed out. Can't do any more, so I need to reassemble this to get the shorties. See, that did it. Yep, that did it. A little too much. Alright. Huh? It's that easy. With the right tools, job is way easier. Okay, staying organized here, and now get this cover off. There's one bolt there, one here, one inside here. There. And I forgot one, of course, down here. So that always helps to get all the screws and bolts out. This guy actually has timing marks on him, so it's important. Okay, now you're free. Thing spins around and there's a sensor right here that detects these teeth. So this, don't worry about putting it on the wrong way. There's a little key over here, so it can only go on one way. And now be ready to remove the timing belt. So I decided to take the this tensioner out. I put a spike in here, a pin, kind of hold that from expanding, and then I've lined up my belt marks. I see they're lined up, but actually the point down here seems to be one tooth off from what the little marking on here. So I'm a little confused there. One tooth off down there. And of course it doesn't matter if I just move this a little to the T. Still off. I could try to go around once more and see, but I think I would just be right back where I started. Of course, if you're lining up the belt marks, the belt was there. These guys aren't lined up. So, you know what? I may turn it around one more time and see if I can get everything to line up. See how this last person installed this. Okay, so this one here says left cam. And this says crankshaft, so I gotta keep going around. That crank back to the bottom. So my crank line's right here now. I'm getting there little by little. So this line needs to get down here. Should have taken out the spark plugs first. So I need to grab some coil packs anyways. A bit more to go. And I'll look for him here. Come down. Almost there. So now, it says right cam. There we go. Hold tight there. Try this again. Okay. So this little guy looks good. Got the pin in there. Try to hold that, but you can take a vise and squeeze this and put a proper pin down in there. Let this rotate down. So this is loose. So I can get this off, and let's check timing, crank. Take this sucker off. It wants to turn a little bit. So there's like a cam holder tool you can use to keep those where they should be, and to also to install it to take a little tension off. These things sure are hard to get on, even with it being loose down there. Okay, so just playing here. Let's swap it around and get the things lined up where I think they should be. Left cam, right cam. This on here. I'm gonna put it right to that mark. The left cam.
Go down this way and see if I can line this up with the center mark right on the dot. Need to go one more. Yep, it's on the dot. I think something moved up here. Let me try that. Something moved here. This guy moved quite a bit. Let's see what I've done here. Once. Try to get him back. May not be possible. We'll see. Come on. Looks like he's got one more tooth to go. Pull this hard. There. Got it. So now, someone on forum said that a good way to do it is to come up over here and on the top left here, but it seems really hard to do. Let's see here. I just need to go over a bit more. This guy moved a little, so it'd be great if I could move him back. What could I use? What I could use? That's gonna be really tough. So, yeah, I want it to be here. If I scoot it back one, it's not going to be lined up. Oh yeah, this is tough. Let me try something. So we can get a combo effect going here. Loosen this guy so I can get this, try to get this where I want it. There. By doing that, yeah, is it possible to get this cranked back in without stripping it out? Well, that's the washer. That's important. Let's see. I got it back. I think it works. Do it by hand. Yeah, it works. Better not ratchet that on there. Use this guy. And then he's going to tighten up. And let's see here. So I've got that guy lined up with left cam and the mark. I got this guy lined up with the notch and the mark best as can be a little bit. And then I'm still lined up down here. So yeah, that was the thing with this guy. He had it on backwards, but got it set now, but I'm not going to be really hoping not to use this engine. So this is more just demonstration and a way to kind of figure out how this really is supposed to go. Continuing this journey, better make it quick or my camera's going to run out of room. We need to remove the water pump. So get 2 bolts connecting this top housing. Get him out. This is a thermostat housing. And then we have to go around and... we're still at 12. Of course, anyone who wants to keep track of their bolts, they're just going nuts on it, like me here. Just slap your bolts over here. Gotta have a magnet, right? Get that stuff out of there. What else we got? This one, this one. So we do need to go back and get this off. Because, you know what? I might not have had to, now that I look at it, but whatever. So I'm going to get these off, and for that, I need to use this because I don't have a deep socket. Do I have a deep socket? Oh yeah, I do. Cool. The stud's out, and that's this thing on. And let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's one. 9, 10. Now, the water pump should be sealed on there. Here's a plastic piece. see if I'm missing anything up here. Or if this cover perhaps is holding it on. Ah, I see. So there's a water pipe back here, and it has a like an O-ring to seal it up in there. And that guy just needs a little help, a little encouragement to release the Kraken. Pull him out from the back. We're loosening the pipe to pull forward with this. Let's see if I can wiggle my way free willy up here. Okay, I'm gonna use plastic one. The gasket back there. How about a screwdriver and steer? That'll work? Yes, that'll work. Okay, I see. We're getting stuck on here on this idler pulley or whatever it is. You need a 14 for that. Now I get to the stage where I'm getting disorganized. This is all my stuff. Don't get scratched. Here we go. Pull this baby. It's loose like a goose. There's a water pump. Look at that. It has a plastic impeller on it. Interesting. Not much to it. It's going to take the water either in on this side or in on this side. Spin it towards the other way. Let's see how this goes. This one will be spinning. It's going clockwise. It's pulling that way. So it'll be spinning like this. So I have a feeling it comes in here and goes out over here. Alright. Got that. Gasket comes all the way over here. And this is where you'll have your leaks, your water pump leaks. You know, this one's just looking ridiculously gross in here. And looks like the seal was okay, but look at that nastiness, that goo, pretty gross. That sounds better, right? Before it was totally, it was louder and clinkety clinkety clack. Just a little shakily wakely. Why was it shaking like that? Is it low RPMs? Let's see it. A little hard to see, but it shakes. That's how fast your timing belt spins. Pretty slow. Before it was totally, it was louder and clinkety clinkety clack. Before it was totally, it was louder and clinkety clinkety clack.